Hey there. Well, I'm getting ready to change the oil in my Harley, my 2008 Harley Softail Deluxe. Just got finished riding it a little bit. It's like 90 something out there already. So my YouTube channel is Copperhead Harley. That's because the color of this bike is Copperhead Pearl. And doesn't look this orangey. You could see kind of like the yellow and the gold in the tank there. You get a lot of like greens and golds when it's out in the sun. Got these Vance and Hines pipes, which I love. You know, if you use stock pipes on your motorcycle, nobody could hear you on the road. So they're blasting their radio, and they can't even hear you coming, you know. You need to get some loud pipes so you're heard on the road, just my opinion. Took the back seat off because I don't ride with the passenger. And now I'm gonna get ready to change the oil. I just use the top of a plastic tote because my bike's pretty low to the ground. Softail Deluxe, at least in 2008, was like, I think, the lowest riding bike out of the ones that Harley line up. So I just use like a tray, and an oil pan won't fit under there, your standard oil pan. So I use a red line. It's expensive though. It's like 18 bucks a quart at the Harley shop. So for the standard chrome filter, it is 63798-99A. Standard filter on most of the bikes, and I'm going to use my manual here, look up the specs, which but I always forget. And with the let me get my, so got my tools out, my torque wrench. So I know I sound like grandma here. It's page 1-12 and 1-13 for the oil change. And here's the maintenance schedule for my bike, which you should always be following. For those of you that don't know, on the right side of your bike, look for this framing here, right? And then there's your oil plug right here. And that image is right here in the manual on page 1-13. Also, whenever you put a filter on, make sure you put a little bit of oil on the rubber seal. The foot-pounds specifications for the oil plug is 14 to 21 foot-pounds. And I usually do it around 18 because I always kind of try to stay in the middle of the specification. To 20 anyway. So this takes a 5/8 socket. Hang on a minute. And it's going to be hot oil. Try not to get burned. So that's what I do. I'll take it off the ratchet. Just use the socket to take the rest of the plug out once I get it loose. See this oil plug? I'm sure this O-ring is fine, but I'm going to remove it because O-rings are cheap. So I'm working it off, removed it. I put a new one on here. So this is my oil filter wrench. I bought it at the Harley shop many years ago. It's machined aluminum. Really like it. It's nice. Made in the USA. Can't beat that. Do you like about this? It's just the right thickness here to be able to, you know, get it onto the filter and off the filter. Between the frame here, between the filter and the frame. Yeah, this is the worst part of the deal, I'll tell you. Worst part of the deal. It's hot, because you want to really change your oil when it's hot. A little warm, or pretty warm anyway. Yep. Can't get a hold of it. Get that the heck out of there. Alright. I'm going to put a little bit of oil on here. And I'm just going to give it a little snuggeroo. Yeah, a little bit more than that. Yeah, because I didn't get in there very good with my hand. So while I'm down here, I'm just going to hit my spring with some Tri-Flow. I don't use grease. Alright, so I just wipe it a little bit. I got my new O-ring on here. Run it up with my hand. Okay, so it's just snug, right? And then this is only a 1/4 drive torque wrench. So I got to get my other socket out, my other 5/8 socket. Now I got this set on 20. So like I said, the specs are 14 to 21. There. Hear that click? That means you're already at 20 foot-pounds. So we're good. Just like that. So now I'm going to fill up my oil. Yeah, it's hot. Just lay this down here. Takes 2.5 quarts. And pretty easy to do with the red line bottles. Yeah. You know, why is everything so darn hard to open anymore? Like we're a bunch of friggin' kiddies, right? It's supposed to have a pull tab, and it does have a pull tab, just a pull tab that barely works. There we go. See? Just a complaining hag. Okay. Now 2.5 quarts for a wet fill, 3 quarts for a dry fill. But when would there ever be a dry fill except like a brand new motorcycle that the dealer is getting ready to deliver to somebody? So it's always going to be 2.5 quarts. Yep, I don't even know why. Alright, it's even mentioned 3 quarts for a dry fill. You're never going to have a dry fill. But so now I'm just going to clean this off. My dipstick. I bought another dipstick, but I went back to using the original, which is easier to read. And I'm going to clean up. And I'm going to just let this oil drain back down for a little bit, and then I'm going to check the dipstick. So So this is my original manual. Yeah, I'm one of those people that hang on to things, and I'm going to write in the back when I change the oil and the filter. Perfect. Reading right here.